Hello everybody, get a white piece of paper and your crayons together. We're going to draw landscapes and abstract those landscapes with lines and color. We will start with a black crayon on white paper and then blend color in and out of those hills, landscape, lines, sunsets, and all these things we're going to look at. We're starting with improvisation number 28. It's a fun piece by Vasily Kandinsky, the Russian artist. Hello everybody, here is the Kandinsky improvisation 28 that I did. And it's different than his. Now he would do many versions of this picture and we're going to do a version of it. So let's start out with a sketch of it. This is my first version of this improvisation in a few years. And I've done it before, but each time I do it, it's different. I'm going to start out with the lines. And improvisation is something that you just do out of the blue. I'll put the cutaway in the drawing too, so you can see it, but I've got it off to the side. Start with a black crayon. Now, with many assignments that we do, you could use crayons or watercolors or both. Markers even work, especially if you have a paintbrush and a cup of water. So what this is, if you couldn't tell, is a drawing of mountains. So there's a big mountain and a hill here. And then there's a big mountain here. And then there's another big mountain here. And then this goes down in front of this mountain. So he's talking about mountains, and then he has these big dome or almost finger shapes, right? And then this one's kind of bent and moves over. And then that's even different from the last time I did it. And so you'll notice there are lots of differences in this. These shapes are like fences, or they're like grasses popping up on hills. And he repeats this motif. Remember, a motif is a simple design or drawing. And then he has this hill, and he has grass coming out of this hill, and it comes over in front of this. Now he starts to make checkerboard patterns, and then he crosses those lines, and then he would color in those boxes with different colors. He put the sun down on this hill right here, and it looked like a fried egg or a flower. And then he also had a sun here, which I don't have in my first one. But then looking back over it, it's like, well, Mr.C, you missed that part. Yeah, I'm going to miss parts on this too, I bet you will. If you're looking at the original that I'll post, it's pretty complicated. So he has all these kind of squiggly shapes down here, and I'm not sure what they are, but that's kind of neat to not know what some things are. And then he starts with smaller hills here, and they just kind of overlap. So I've got a lot of information in this already. Looking at the work of Vasily Kandinsky, he was a Russian artist that moved around to France in about the time of World War I. Now, you could use watercolors for this. What I started with was crayons and white paper. So I'm going to find, well, there's purple in the second mountain. Okay, color this one in purple. This is all it takes. Half of this was purple. There was purple here at this hill. Color that in. So Kandinsky, this artist, was really good at juxtaposing color. He would move it around all over. He wanted you to look here and then see color here. So he would put it here and then say, well, this could travel around. There could be a little bit here. There could be some here too. And then so I have this indigo or purplish blue juxtaposed all over. It's jumping around my piece. Now, let's look for orange. I see it here. Here's an orange crayon. Color this one in, the top of this mountain, and it's cut off by another hill. I think crayons are really fast, if you're fast. If you just sit with it, it's not going to do anything. So you have to tell it what to do. Teach your crayon how to work hard. And then he did have some right here, sketched in. There is some more orange up here and into this mountain and then into the sky. Think about the directions of marks you're making as you do it. Color this one in, and it's actually reddish orange. So I'm going to blend some more of this reddish color into it. There, did that with a crayon. Who would have thought? And then a little bit of reddish here. There's not a lot of red in this painting, really, not in this version anyway. And as I look at it, there's not a lot of green in it, even though it's a landscape. So it's kind of fun. I'm looking for that other green crayon and I found it. So I need some green here and here. And this is lighter than the last green I used, but that's okay. So I'm kind of juxtaposing this green now, putting different colors in places. And maybe I didn't put them there last time, but I'm playing with this. I'm having an improvisational moment. I'm making things up. That's what improv means, to make things up. And it's fun. That's what I like about art, making things up, and I hope you do too. So this is really fun. After you draw into it, then you can start to color into it, which is probably my favorite part of doing work, is the coloring part. I do like the drawing part too, but in this, I'm wanting to put this color and juxtapose it in places, move it around. Can you say juxtapose? Juxtapose, thank you very much. Now I see a light blue. I see, yes, I need to move that light blue around. Well, that's kind of dark. Let's find a lighter one. There's a greenish blue. That looks great. And then I know that that color is here also. So let's color that in. Do you see how fast that is? Crayons are super fast. I like them. And that goes over that, and I'm looking at my reference, my drawing over here, so that I know what to do. Hopefully you're doing that too. And I want that color there, and I know I want that color there, a little darker, not much going on here. So this part has the yellow, and then there's yellow up in the sky. And let's finish that part, and I think we're about good with this at that point. That will be fun. I know there's yellow here, and that brightens this part up. And then there's yellow here in the sky, and over here, and over here. And then down here, we're throwing this color also down so that it leads up this way. Does your eye move with the color? Mine does. So we're juxtaposing color today. And we've gotten pretty close to this Vasily Kandinsky, the Russian artist that did improvisations with lines and color. It's actually a mountain, but it looks abstract. It's an abstracted mountain. So I have my two versions here of Vasily Kandinsky's improvisation number 28. At the first of the lesson, I showed you a few Kandinskys, and they're really fun to do. I'm connecting these two to look like one big landscape together. I hope you have fun doing the Vasily Kandinsky improvisation landscape. Remember, they're mountains, they're big hills. These might be buildings, I'm not sure. But he was talking about different viewpoints. If you're looking at it from the side, it's going to look this way. If you're looking at it from the top, it's going to look this way. So things do look different from different angles. Take, for example, this glue bottle. You know what this is because you can see it and read it. But if you only saw this, you might wonder what this was. If you saw only this, you might wonder what this was. If you only saw this, you might not know at all what this was. So it's all about perspective and how you see things. he drew the side of the mountain, on top of the mountain, and kind of behind the mountain, things that overlapped. And especially, he loved to juxtapose color. So send me your version of a Kandinsky. Start with the drawing in the black line. You could just start with a black crayon on white paper. And then once you put these lines in, just try your best. Fill in the whole space and leave white parts for color so that you have parts to look at and parts to rest, because you do want these spaces of white so that your eye can rest, just like in a Kandinsky painting. So I hope you can turn this into me, show me your work. I appreciate it. I love to see everything you do. Have fun making your Vasily Kandinsky landscape improvisation number 28.